Welcome to episode 4 of the RCR Show, first show since episode 2 about 2 weeks ago, where you got the three of us because we had an impromptu mega trade last time with the Luka and AD trade. We had to scrap our trade talk and just go with an emergency show from me and West. But luckily, we're all three here today. But we're continuing the Lakers talk because it really is the most relevant thing in the NBA right now because they're on a run. Luka just made his debut a couple nights ago as of this recording. This is coming out on Valentine's Day. And it's kind of the first time of the NBA season where we have a break. It's the All-Star break. No one really cares about the All-Star game. It's really just time to figure out who's going to go win the NBA Finals, who's going to make a run in the second half. We'll kind of talk about that specifically from a Lakers point of view, most likely. But we will kind of go through the odds of who has the best odds to win the NBA championship and kind of see, like, if we were to be a betting man, what is the best value? Where would we put our money, our fake money, and who we think would win the championship based on that. We got a fun long form today. We're going to be talking about the last player from every NBA team to get an MVP vote. So really just last MVP caliber player, somewhat like that. And we got a fun guess the team. We got AI images. AI, some would say it's taken over our world. It's taken over this channel now with the trivia. Cody, how are you doing? You missed the last show. You didn't even get a chance to talk about the AD Luka trade. Is there any thoughts you have just straight off the bat about that?
That was probably one of the biggest trades in NBA history, and I didn't believe it after like 4 times of swiping my phone on different sources that because of just how unbelievable it is. You got to feel for Luka, but hopefully he's excited to move forward. Obviously, Blazers are my favorite team, but the Lakers, man, they might be number 3 now after Damian Lillard and my Bucks. So I'm rooting for them in the West. West, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Emergency show last week. We talked about trade deadline stuff in our original recording. Didn't mention Luka to the Lakers once, as no one would, because Nico Harrison, the Mavericks GM, is single-handedly torpedoing that franchise right now. And Anthony Davis is now out for a couple weeks. Weird that the Mavs didn't see that one coming.
Obviously.
They traded Luka because they were scared he couldn't stay healthy. So let's go get street clothes and bring him in.
It's a good nickname. But
always
I'm
down.
doing good. Yeah, we're always down. Ambulance driver, if you've seen those videos.
I feel bad, though, honestly.
I feel bad for Mavericks fans, but I don't feel bad for us because we get to do episode 4. And this time we actually have something to talk about that I know is not going to just get flipped on its head in a few days. The trade deadline's always tough. We did nail the Fox trade. Said he'd go to San Antonio. Didn't see Levine going to the Kings and the Bulls literally getting absolutely nothing. They got JV pieces, but whatever. Jump into the long form?
Yeah, let's jump into it real quick here. All right, I got a very fun long form. I'm excited for it. Spent a lot of time researching this one, and I think it's going to be very fun to guess. So can you name the last player for every NBA team to get an MVP vote? I just called him an MVP caliber player. We're going to start with 3 strikes. If it gets tough, we'll make it 5.
All right, Giannis got a vote, Luka got a vote, Shea got a vote, Jokic got a vote.
Yeah, and as you can see, those are the top 4 on the list. I made this in chronological order to help you out. I don't give you, obviously, the specific date, but I give you chronological order. Hopefully that'll help you a little bit.
Okay, I think the Celtics going to be Tatum.
Celtic is Tatum, correct.
And the T-Wolf is Edwards.
T-Wolf is Ann Edwards, correct.
Okay, so the Knicks clearly not Cat because he wasn't here last year. So I guess it's Brunson, man.
Brunson, yeah, that makes sense.
It is Brunson, and he was 5th in MVP voting. I even kept it in order of the MVP voting for a year. 5th last year, which is kind of crazy, honestly.
I wonder if Sabonis got a vote last year, but even if he didn't, it would be the year before. And let's also throw KD in there.
Sabonis is the king, and KD is the son. And those are all of them from last year.
Embiid won, so I guess this is where we go into the next season. So let's go Embiid, the winner of 2024 or 3.
That is correct, and I'm glad you're kind of understanding the graphic a little bit. And for those that don't know about MVP voting, 5 players get put on a ballot. So some of these people might have just got a 5th place vote. They may have not even got a 1st place vote. So just remember that when you're guessing.
I think it's Donovan Mitchell will be the Cav. The Warriors, obviously, Steph Curry. And Jimmy Butler is going to be the Heat.
Those are correct. The Cav is D. Mitch, the Warrior is Steph, and Jimmy Butler is the Heat.
Did Ja get a vote?
Yeah.
I mean, it's no one else, so it has to be him.
Ja.
It is Ja, and you just hit another milestone. That is everybody from 22, 23, and on.
Who got a vote on the Bulls in the last 4 years? Are you kidding me?
I think I want to say it's DeRozan, which is stupid. Okay,
It has
then
to be.
the net.
Oh yes, remember that year DeRozan had like 3-game winners or something? It's probably
Yeah, and he
DeRozan.
averaged like high 20s. I think.
Yeah.
It is DeMar. You've knocked out the top 15. DeMar got a vote for the Bulls. That 1 year they were kind of out of mediocrity.
The net. I'm going to give host a chance to say it's also KD because we guessed KD for the Suns. It could be Kyrie. It could be Harden. I think it's KD because he was so elite. So we'll guess Kevin Durant.
It is KD, and I'm not just gonna give you the extra ones. I want you to call out your spot just to kind of keep working. It's fun this way. You guys are rolling. That's correct, though.
All right, let's go Lillard. Let's do it.
Obviously the lid.
That is Damian Lillard for the Blazer. That is correct.
Okay, I think the Spur is Kawhi. I'm jumping a little bit, but I don't think it's after 2016.
Yeah, we can go
I
Kawhi.
think it's Kawhi.
It is not Kawhi Leonard. I'm sure he got votes at some point. I think he did get second 1 year, but not the most recent one. It's not Kawhi Leonard. Strike one.
Can we go? We should go Harden, right, Wes, for
Yes.
the Rockets.
Yes.
That is James Harden. And if you want some context, that Harden logo is from 1920.
So we go Kawhi AD. You want to
Yeah,
go?
yes, yeah.
AD is correct for the Pelicans. Strike two. It is not Kawhi Leonard.
What? Who got a vote? Did
Right.
Siakam get a vote? Who's voting for Siakam? I need to talk to you, man.
We'll make it 5. We'll go 5 strikes.
Yeah, I don't think.
No, hey, that's not necessary.
I think the Lakers, LeBron.
Okay, let's go LeBron.
It is LeBron James in 21-22.
Russ or Bradley Beal for the Wizard?
Jeez, it is that year. I'd say.
It's got to be Beal.
I'd say Beal.
There's no way Russ is getting a vote in the 2020s.
Probably the year he averaged like 31.
Let's go Beal.
So do you want 5 strikes?
I guess we'll take 5
guess
strikes.
Because this is a
Five
tough
strikes.
list. I'm just saying. It is not
All right.
Bradley Beal. Strike 3.
It's probably
So do we-
Otto Porter Jr.
So do we go Russ?
Yeah,
We have
it's
to.
Russ.
Yeah.
It's Russ.
It is Russ in 2020-2021. He got an MVP vote. Don't know where, don't know how, don't know from who, but he got one.
Want to go Dwight Howard for the Magic?
Why? I mean, what year? It could be from. Oh, yeah. I mean, sure, we'll go to Dwight Howard.
Yeah, that's the biggest lock of a random one you could have chose from. It is Dwight Howard in 2011-2012.
I bet the Pistons could be like Chauncey from 03 or something stupid like that.
I'm cool with Paul George if you want, dude.
All right, let's do it.
Guys, that's strike number 4. Someone got a vote after PG.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't, Cole.
That's not, and I know we knock on PG a lot, but I think he did probably get a vote somewhere in his career, but he wasn't the most recent one. Okay.
Oh,
so,
career. He was. I think he got third in MVP one year.
Oh, he might have, but he definitely did with the Thunder. I know he did, but Pacer, he just wasn't the most recent.
Oh,
You got one more to play with. This is tough, man, but
Gosh,
you got a couple
it's
more
really
left
hard.
to get.
Do we go?
I think we go Rudy. I think we go Rudy right now. Let's go Rudy Gobert.
So the options were Rudy Gobert or Donovan Mitchell, and you chose
Yeah,
the right one. Rudy
yeah,
Gobert.
yeah.
We got an MVP vote in 2020-2021. You knocked out the top 20. You just need 7 more, but they're tough.
We're
Yeah,
cooked.
I'll just say the Clipper is from 2020-2021. So that's how far you got to go back for.
I mean,
That's the
that
most
could
recent
be
one on here.
that could be Paul George.
I think that's Paul George.
It could, dude. We literally have wasted 2 strikes on Kawhi, bro. If we guess Paul George and the Clippers Kawhi,
That's brutal. Let's go Paul. Let's go
Paul George.
I'll be reading out the list to you boys because it's Kawhi Leonard. Just tough
This guy
spot. You know,
doesn't play.
if I let you just say a name and they were on it, maybe you do better. Well, you definitely do better. But yeah,
For
the
sure, we'd
Clipper
have 2
is
strikes right now.
Clippers Kawhi Leonard from 2020. I'm just gonna give you the second year. Kawhi Leonard from 2021. The Raptor was Spicy P in 2020. Got an MVP vote. The Spur is L Train, LaMarcus Aldridge from 2018. The Pacers from
MVP vote.
2018. It's Mr.
Who's
Victor
this?
Oladipo. Victor Oladipo got an MVP vote in his big year.
Al
We
Jefferson?
move on to the Bobcats, which is the Hornets, It was Al Jefferson in 2014, Joe
guessed it.
Johnson in 2012 for the Hawks. And the Pistons is tough because the most recent guy to win
Prince.
or to get an MVP vote and played a full season with the Pistons is Rasheed Wallace in 2008. However, Chauncey Billups played half the season, or at least played a couple games with the Pistons in 2009 and got an MVP vote. And guys, because I just learned this, the MVP vote actually has a fan vote involved, and normally it just goes to one of the top players in the NBA. But in 2021, Derrick Rose got sixth place on the MVP ballot because he won the fan vote. And on his Basketball Reference, he got sixth place in the MVP running in 2021. So technically, he's the most recent one, but he only played like 10 games with the Pistons that year, so that's why I didn't include him.
No wonder we're not getting this because it's the fans that are voting.
That was the only one that's a weird fan vote. I didn't even know they had it, but when I saw the most recent Piston was Derrick Rose, I was like, there is no way, because he averaged like 12 points per game that year. But that is the last player to get an MVP vote for every team. Tough list. It's very interesting to see who gets MVP votes, because the fact that like Victor Oladipo, Al Jefferson are on this list, kind of crazy. But let me know how you did in the comments below. All right, so honestly, if I let you just didn't have to call out the spot, probably go maybe 28, 29 for 30. I don't think you get some of them. I don't think you get the Piston necessarily. I don't think you get the Pacer.
Not getting Oladipo.
I don't think you're getting Oladipo. That year is so forgotten. But you probably would have ended up getting Spicy P. You would have probably ended up getting Joe Johnson maybe. But that was a tough long form, but that was a fun one. Just very interesting to see how like literally one sports writer can change the course of a guy's career when it comes to like their accolades. But we're going to talk about the Lakers now. This is kind of going to be the main portion of the show. The Lakers are currently rolling. And when I say rolling, I mean rolling. I feel like the vibes are as high as they ever been. Of course, the fact that the Mark Williams trade as of now is canceled. Could not get canceled. I know the Hornets are going to the league and trying to figure out if they can actually make that trade go through. But other than that, this has been about the best 2-week run, probably for the Lakers since their championship in the bubble. They're now at fourth in the West. They're actually tied with Houston, so they just passed them. They're only 1.5 games back from Denver and 3 games back from Memphis. Like, if they keep this hot streak, you could argue they could get to the 2 seed, which would be crazy. Wow. West, I know you are extremely high on the Lakers. I know you notoriously said in one of our TikToks that you think OKC is not coming out of the West, and I think that's because you think it's LA. Tell me why you think LA will be that Western Conference representative.
Because they have the two of the 3 greatest players in the league when they have the ball in their hands in terms of playmaking and scoring. Remember, we talked about in our very first RCR show, our top 10 players. And I know a lot of the discussion ended up being about Embiid, Wemby, and the bigs, but what was forgotten was we had Luka 3, 4, and we had LeBron like 5, 6, 7. So Lakers went from having 2 top 10 players on the back end to now a bona fide top 4 player, plus the greatest player of all time, in my opinion. I know people immediately always want to talk about, well, they can't do this, they can't do that. And that's fair. You want to see what a team's flaws are. And yes, the defensive end right now is going to be questionable, especially with the Mark Williams situation being up in the air. But who is stopping them? Like, actually. Like, if Dorian Finney-Smith, Rui, even Jared Vanderbilt, if these role players are knocking down threes and spreading the floor, you literally cannot guard this team. Austin Reeves was a bench creator. I honestly thought they might have looked at moving him to like go win now, but I do think they're trying to walk this line of, compete for LeBron and compete for Luka in the late 2020s. I think they come out of the West though, because I don't know. I just think the Thunder. I honestly don't know. I'm taking Luka and LeBron's brains over Shea's volume scoring in the playoffs.
I mean, that's fair. OKC is also very young.
True.
And, I feel like the whistles in the playoffs aren't necessarily going to be there as much for the OKC Thunder as they would be, say, in the regular season. You see when the playoffs come around, it gets more physical and the more experienced players seem to thrive. But like you said, I don't know who's guarding this team. I don't know who watched Luka's debut game, but just these are two of the best passers in the league other than Jokic. Like LeBron and Luka are up there, and their ability to just create space and just have amazing basketball IQ on offense, find the open man, find the right play for the exact situation to give you the highest percentage look is just crazy. I'm looking at it right now. The Lakers are 9th in offensive rating, but that's obviously with AD all season long, so they're only going to get better from that. And like you said, you were concerned about the defense. Let me get their defensive rating up. In the season so far, they are 8th rated defense, so not that bad, but expected to drop. And us Blazer fans know how important defense is in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think the biggest question when anyone's talking about this team is just, what are you going to do when you got to go up against Nikola Jokic? Or what are you going to do when you got to play
Anthony Davis?
What if you have to play Anthony Davis? Or you have to play Sabonis? Or you got to play Hartenstein and Chet? That's a really scary thing. I guess I'll send it to you, Wes. Like, if I'm making the case against the Lakers, like, what's your biggest argument against that, like, kind of problem for the Lakers? Or is there even an argument and you just got to say, we give that up? We got to give it up.
I think I think for the Lakers to go to the finals, you need to get the 2 or the 3 seed, and you got to hope Denver is the 4 or 5, and OKC and Denver knock each other out. I think Denver would be a terrible matchup for the Lakers. They are literally every year.
Still what happened to them last 2 times.
But the thing about the Thunder, that yes, Hartenstein and Chet are like, that's a matchup problem. But I saw the Lakers run small. They were playing Rui or Jared Vanderbilt at the 5. I think it was Rui at the 5 because they want Jared Vanderbilt on the ball. But like, if you're gonna make the Thunder target that mismatch and you give Chet and Hartenstein 25 shots, that's less shooting for Shea, and I'm totally fine with that from the Lakers. Like, I mean, they use up Alex Len's fouls. I mean, if you want to watch Hartenstein take 12 push shot floaters, and he makes 7 of them, well, that's probably still less efficient or less points per possession than if Shea has the ball. So, I mean, I do think if you're the Lakers, you can get creative, but I just think I'm taking the Lakers because I think people are overrating. I heard, first of all, people are like, LeBron and Luka can't play together, which that's not true. Like, LeBron was an off-ball screener in the Olympics for Steph. And so, and now I do think if LeBron wants to, and he would have to swallow his pride for this, but you don't try as hard in the regular season. You let Luka average 28, and you play more on the defensive end. I mean, I think LeBron can guard 5s if he wants to.
As well. Honestly, I've got a tough thing to say right now. So we talked about the Cavs in one of our shows, and then they went on a tough little losing streak or lost some games, nowhere near the pace they were on then. Talked about the trade deadline, and then the biggest trade in NBA history goes down. Talking about the Lakers and how they're good. They're currently down 22 to the Utah Jazz.
Down.
Obviously, that's not an indictment on what they'll do in the regular season or in the playoffs. They are fully healthy playing tonight. I mean, they're just playing bad, it looks like, but that's just unfortunate for the topic we're talking about right now. I do think, though, unfortunately, at the current moment, I see a team that's got Alex Len and Jackson Hayes as your 2 big bodies, and that just scares me so much. I think their only hope is they're not winning a series against a lot of the teams in the West, at least the top tier of the West. And I mean, like, the Denver, OKC, and maybe you throw one more team in there, but I don't think so. I think the top 2 outside the Lakers are clearly Denver and OKC, like Memphis, Houston. They don't scare me really from a Lakers perspective. But the problem is, I think you have to be able to go small and win when you're going small. You have to be able to outscore the opponent and play better when Jared Vanderbilt is your center or freaking LeBron's at your center. I don't think you can win a series if you're playing Jackson Hayes and Alex Len 30 minutes a night and you're really relying on them to be in your lineup. But that's just something that I think is going to, only time will tell how that will work. And who knows, Mark Williams could somehow end up on this team because the NBA says the trade has to go through. I don't know. Cody, I'm going to ask you. I know you're not the biggest betting man, but if you see OKC Thunder to get out of the West is currently plus 100. You bet $10, you win $10. But if you bet the Lakers, if you put $10 on the Lakers at plus 750, you win 75. Where are you putting your money?
Definitely the Lakers. Not because I necessarily think the Lakers have a higher chance than the OKC Thunder, but just what was that? 7 times as much money.
I think
No,
that's the thing.
I don't think the Thunder have a 7 times more likely chance to make it out of the West than the Lakers, and that really sucks. The Mark Williams deal really sucks for the Lakers. Like, that is just a key piece you needed on that defensive end, just a big body down there for all the defense. And gosh, guys, I cannot emphasize this enough. No defense is so scary in the playoffs.
I mean, Nico
so
Harrison said that. He said defense wins championships.
When you have to rely on shots to go in to win playoff games, and then you shoot bad just 2 games in a row, scary stuff can happen. So it's going to be really interesting to see if that trade can somehow go through. You know, what strings LeBron can pull behind the hat. And who knows, maybe Bronny will just emerge.
Okay. Perhaps.
kidding.
Perchance Bronny does that, but I do think the defense is the biggest concern. But I also do believe this is one of the more unique offensive duos.
Jazz have 104 points right now, and it's not even the end of the third quarter.
Now, I do want to say, literally, if you play a team back-to-back, you very rarely see a sweep. The Nuggets are actually going to do it to the Blazers tonight, so that's great. But you never see a team sweep. And I'm sure the Lakers might honestly win this game because the Jazz are in the Cooper Flag sweepstakes. But I think, to your point, I would bet the Lakers. Where's Denver? I'm curious.
Denver's in the middle around plus 500.
Denver's a great bet then.
Yeah. I mean, OKC at plus 100. I feel like it's given OKC a lot of respect. They've looked awesome this year, but another key piece to the Lakers OKC thing is Luka just absolutely owns the Thunder and really takes playing Shea. Maybe he doesn't take it personally, but he shows up when he plays the Thunder. Just an interesting tidbit.
And this is the argument against the Lakers. The Thunder, this is why they got Hardenstein. They struggle against size. That's why Dallas beat them. And I honestly think that could be a small reason, at least, why that Nico Harrison made that trade is like, if the Mavericks are on paper fully healthy, like on paper, that's a huge team. Like PJ Washington 6'10", AD's basically a 7-footer, Lively, Gafford are 7-footers. Like, you're playing with almost 3 7-footers out there. And then you have Kyrie and Clay as the shooters. So let's say AD's out for 2 weeks and Dallas is the 8th seed. That's a first round matchup. OKC Dallas. Like that's why I'm just not comfortable putting literally 10 to win 10 on OKC. Like, it is tough to beat OKC 4 times in 2 weeks, but they're young. And like you said, Cody, you're not going to get your steady dose of the free throw parade that you would get in the regular season. And you just look, I think Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Joe, they're great players. Lou Dort's a great player, but can you shoot in the playoffs? That's what I want to see.
That's a key
I think the
thing.
Lakers have more proven guys, even though the depth is not there.
That's fair. Go ahead, Cody.
I was just going to quickly say about the trade being canceled and everything. Do you think the chemistry goes down at all? Because Dalton Connect's a big player on this team.
Yeah,
and it's like,
you
got traded. You are literally on your way to Charlotte in your mind. And now it's just not happening. You got to go back in that locker room. Obviously, the players don't make the decision, but does that create any tension, you think, in the organization?
It's got to.
Yeah.
I think it's got to. I feel like it's maybe something that can wear off throughout the year. If we're still talking about Dalton Connect as a key piece and he's pouting about the trade come playoff time, then that would probably be unrealistic. Like, I can see why it would affect him now. I mean, he's playing this game. He's got 10 points in 12 minutes, so seems like his first game back. He's playing fine. 3 for 6 from 3 as of now, as of our recording. If it was a bigger player, if it was like you were trading Austin Reeves to try to get, I don't know, an elite center or something, then I could sit here and say, yeah, that's going to be a problem because Austin Reeves is that important. But I don't think Dalton Connect is important enough for it in the event it becomes really awkward or something. If he does stay, I don't think it matters too much. I'm gonna put the odds on the screen for just NBA champions this year, and I'm just like curious. If you say Lakers, you say Lakers, but maybe give me your 3 ways you would go. I'll read them out to you guys. Boston to win the championship is plus 195. So it's only 10 to win $19, which is kind of crazy. But 195 for Austin. OKC's plus 230. Cleveland's plus 850. Knicks plus 1,300. Nuggets plus 1,400. Lakers plus 1,700. If you want to go Grizzlies plus 31 or Bucks plus 32, you can indulge there.
I'll put a little money on the Bucks.
Put a little money on the Bucks.
I mean, I think look. This is what I'll say about the Bucks. I think the Bucks are underrated right now because I think people think Kuzma sucks, and I think Kuzma is going to be an upgrade over Middleton. I just do. I just think Middleton was shot. Unfortunately, he gave a lot to that franchise, so no disrespect there. And then the last thing people think about is the Bucks losing the first round of the Pacers, but like, there's a lot of context. Like, when's the last time we saw a healthy Giannis in the playoffs? So
I think that's literally been 2-3 years.
The championship, or probably after that, but
maybe 1 year after the championship.
And as Blazer fans, I know what Dame's like in the playoffs. So, I mean, I do think the Bucks are an interesting team to get out of the East. I don't think they like just at that number. I would put some money on them. Honestly, I'd put money on Boston. To be honest,
yeah. If I had to make 3, I'd probably go Lakers. Maybe Nuggets, and maybe like, okay, I can't do 3 Western Conference teams. Something around, I think Lakers and Nuggets, but like then again, I think OKC is probably the best team in the league. It's very, very tough. I don't think there's any teams on here that are like long shots that like the only team like, and this is going to sound crazy, as a long shot would be like Philly or Suns, just based on just sheer talent. But like, I'm not putting any currency on Joel Embiid and Pandemic P. Like, come on now.
What about the
I'd say, just looking at this, I'd say my favorites would be the Bucks, the Lakers, and Denver for just like, if I'm trying to win some money, pretty much on these odds.
Yeah.
Again, not because of the best teams, just because
I just don't think you're getting enough of a return. You're not getting enough of a return on Celtics or Thunder. Like, I don't have enough confidence in them that they will automatically win or be in the finals and win the championship. Like, if this was like maybe 2018 Cavs or 2015 Cavs and they were at this number and they weren't guaranteed, but at least I know they're probably going to make the finals, then I would do it. Like, I have confidence more in the Celtics to make it to the finals than the Thunder, but then again, I probably would take the Thunder over the Celtics in a series. It's very tough. I mean, you got 2 teams up top that aren't just guaranteed to cakewalk to the finals.
I think it's a very interesting structure, I guess. I mean, you got Cleveland and OKC, which are like just juggernaut top seeded teams in the regular season, but not very battle tested in the playoffs. You got the Boston, the reigning champs. You got New York, who's up there, and you got just the excitement with the trades. The Lakers, obviously the Spurs aren't in it, but like even the Suns. Forget the Suns. You have Minnesota, who just was killing it last year, made it to the Western Conference Finals. They're lingering in there, so it's a very interesting.
The West is deep. And
the West is way deeper, for sure.
Way deeper. I think the East is really top heavy. Like, I could see all 4 of those, Celtics, Knicks, Cavs, Bucks, making it out. The argument I'd give against the Celtics is it's really hard to win back-to-back championships.
Like, Detroit has no chance. Like, I'm just sorry.
Yeah. Are you sprinkling $1 to win? What would that be? 1,000 on the Portland Trailblazers?
No.
Well, given they're down 30 to the Nuggets right now, pretty much nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
What are we? The Rockets are, for the seed they are. I mean, I know no one believes in them, and I don't believe in them as a champion either. But like, they have lower odds than the Clippers. I found.
Dude, I'm sorry. The team that's disrespected the most on this is by far the Pacers. I feel like the Pacers to be below Philly, Orlando, even Golden State, even Houston after making the Eastern Conference Finals last year. They're plus 12,000. That seems so low. I'm not high on the Pacers at all, but like, they deserve higher odds than that. But you heard who, obviously this was Laker focused, but we wanted to kind of just dive into the odds because it's very interesting, especially at this point in the year where we're kind of stopped for the All-Star break officially. Final pick though, if you had to pick a team based on odds for the finals, West, you would go Lakers?
They're not. Yeah, I'd go Lakers.
That's why it's tough. We're not saying we think they're going to win the championship. If I had to pick a team to win the championship, I will go with OKC.
I'd go with the Celtics.
I'd be willing to lose $10 in order if it meant winning 170 on the Lakers more than the Thunder. If we are going,
and that was my point with the Bucks. That was my point with the Bucks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that, I hope everyone understood that. But that's all we got for episode. What is this? Episode 4 of RCR Show. Of course, we're going to close out with a guess the team, so stay tuned for that. But let us know, based on the odds, who you think you would put your fake hypothetical money on to win the NBA championship? Or are you just saying, I will gladly take my $19 and I think Boston's winning the championship? Let us know. I'm very curious to see you guys' thoughts. We're coming with a Guess the Team next, so stay tuned for that.
All right, we now have an AI Guess the Team coming up here. Can you name the NBA team based off the AI image?
That's funny, Cody, because you literally just sounded like AI when you talked.
Yeah, you did. AI image. There's no way this is right because Curry doesn't they want to make sense with the point guard, given that it looks like it's a guy like robbing a bank or something. But I mean, the center's literally kicking nuts. Like that literally just screams Draymond. I feel like who else gets kicked nuts?
Look a little closer at that point guard picture. That is not a bank robbery.
Oh, that's Dookie.
Is that carrying Dookie? Because okay, well, if that's the case, then that would make perfect sense. Because there you go, Curry carrying a garbage team in the Warriors. You've got Draymond kicking nuts. That would be Monteverde Academy, where Jonathan Kuminga went at small forward. I would assume maybe that's Buddy Hield. It could be Pajimski. Just stock is plummeting. They're just having a poor season. And then Jimmy Butler, that looks like his iconic picture from what was that, 2020 finals over the scores table or the ad board or something. It would actually make sense for the Warriors, which was my gut.
That is correct. This is the Golden State Warriors. Moses Moody actually also went to Monteverde, and that is correct with the Jimmy Butler picture. This second team is on the screen.
Ooh, an alien that is French. That I think that's got to be Victor Wembanyama. And Chris Paul. Chris Paul is ancient at this point, very old.
Yep.
And let's see, the shooting guard. Welcome to California.
If you zoom in hard, it says well goodbye or goodbye or
that's just
something about goodbye. So I think that's him leaving California. Oh wait, he's looking at the welcome sign with a suitcase. He's literally leaving California. Vassell went to Florida State, and then it's Harrison Barnes probably thinking of Curry, thinking of the team we just did. And by the way, meant to say Moses Moody. Don't come at me in the comments because I said Kuminga. I meant to say Moody. This is the Spurs though.
That is correct. This is the San Antonio Spurs. Maybe Harrison Barnes' the best teammate of all time. When it's all said and done, could be Wembanyama, but probably not.
All right, that is an official wrap on episode 4 of the RCR Show. Episode 3 of us all being together. Technically episode 4, but you guys never saw the 20-minute segment of the trade deadline that got just canned because of the AD and Luka Doncic trade.
Some unreleased.
Hopefully, episode 5. What do we think it could be about? Will it be Lake Show 3.0? Because I mean, you could argue 4.0 because I feel like the most important part of episode 2 was the fact that LeBron was number 5 in our rankings, and then you could argue LeBron was talked about in episode 1 because we talked about the Cavs. Like everything just revolves around LeBron when it comes to the show. Let's just call it the LeMickey Show, the King Show, something like that. What do we think it actually will be about, though? I don't even know.
I don't know either. We'll see what's relevant in a week, though. That's what's great. So I can't make predictions. I already made enough bad predictions on this show. The Lakers are probably going to flame out in the first round with no center. So
literally,
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see how the Lakers defense improves or declines as the second half, or more like last quarter of the season, comes to a close, and we'll see where they end up in the standings. But until that, I think that's all we have.
Yeah. So, of course, make sure to subscribe for the weekly show. Of course, we have our Blazer podcast dropping weekly, bi-weekly sometimes. That's also on Spotify. You can find that there. It's a Rip City Rundown. Of course, this is the RCR Show. And then, of course, we have our TikTok and Instagram, rcr.trivia. Make sure to go follow there because we're posting every single day. And we've got fun and new trivias, old trivias, really anything you want to see. Do you want to see games? Do you want to see just straight up trivia? Can you name the top 10 players? And so on and so forth. We've got all of that there. So make sure to follow us everywhere you can find us. Like and comment. We love to read the comments. And when I say we love to read the comments, we love to read the comments. I can tell you that. Off air, we just go through comments all the time and laugh just constantly.
That's true.
I thought you were saying something, Cody. That's why I stopped.
Okay.
But that's all we got. Make sure to subscribe. We will see you guys next week. Hopefully it's not Lake Show 4.0. Peace out, guys.